The software of our Boston suburban home surrounded the morning as I, Megan Foster, age 42, hurried along breakfast preparation in the kitchen. "Ashley, you up?" I shouted upstairs, concern creeping in over my 15-year-old daughter sleeping in. Daniel, my husband, thundered down the stairs, his sales manager grin wide despite his early morning at Karcher North America. "Morning, Meg," he said, snapping coffee. "New product presentation." "Bit nervous," he confessed. I patted him on the shoulder. "You'll nail it." Ashley came shuffling in, curls disheveled but eyes shining. The three of us sat down to eat, the tinkle of forks anchoring our routine. "Mom, can I go to the mall with friends after school?" Ashley queried, halfway through her bite. "Homework complete?" I asked in return. "Did it yesterday," she replied assertively. "Okay, but home by 8 p.m., I compromised. "Yes," she bounced, smiling. Following breakfast, we dispersed, Daniel to work, Ashley to school, and I to Quincy High, where I teach English. Influencing young minds, seeing them struggle through Shakespeare, brings me private pride. Later that night, Daniel arrived home, his countenance obscured. "What's wrong?" I inquired, wiping my hands with a dish towel. He paused. "Rachel lost her job." My gut fell. Rachel, his 35-year-old sister-in-law, was a storm on legs, her previous visits left marks. "Just for a little while," Daniel added. "Do you think that's okay?" I selected my words with care, memories of the last time she was here, petty fights, shattered trust, brilliant flashing warnings. "Remember what happened the last time?" "I know," he interrupted, "but she's changed, Meg. She's learned her lesson." I breathed out, Daniel's goodness both his strength and vulnerability. "Okay," I said tightly, "but if something happens?" "It'll be all right," he promised, too sure. That evening, I couldn't sleep, anxiety eating away at the possibility of Rachel disturbing our tranquility. Stars shone outside, and I wished for peace to remain. Rain and Rachel appeared on Saturday. The doorbell rang, and Daniel hurried to the door. I steeled myself in the living room, tension building. "Hey, Rachel, long time no see." Daniel's tone was friendly. "Thanks for inviting me," she answered, softer than I anticipated. They came in, and I rose, trying to put on a smile. "Welcome, Rachel." She looked thinner, weary, her eyes dull. "Thanks, Megan. Sorry for the trouble." Her sincerity disarmed me, but caution lingered. Ashley bounded downstairs. "Aunt Rachel." They hugged, chattering instantly, their ease unsettling me. At dinner, Rachel explained her job loss. The company hit financial trouble, mass layoffs. It was sudden. Her voice faltered, and Daniel softened. "You're okay here, Rachel. Take your time finding work." I nodded, but doubt churned, would her stay stretch indefinitely? Days went by, and Rachel's presence became part of our routine. Her relationship with Ashley was what concerned me the most. As I chopped veggies one night, their laughter wafted from the living room. And in high school, this happened. Rachel's voice floated, her tales too vivacious for her tormented history. I stretched to hear, guilt nagging my listening. "Mom, what are you doing?" Ashley's voice snapped me. "Just thinking," I replied, flushed. Over dinner, Rachel asked Daniel about work. "How's the new product at Karcher?" "I'm interested." He shifted uncomfortably. "It's not something I can talk about, but we're developing some exciting things." "Eco-friendly, perhaps?" she urged on, eyes piercing. I intervened, steering the conversation elsewhere. "Rachel, how's the job search?" She scowled. "Slow. It's not easy out there." That evening, in our bedroom, I expressed my discomfort to Daniel. "Rachel's getting close to Ashley, too close." He glanced up from his book. "That's good for Ashley, isn't it?" New perspective. "But her history, Daniel," I pressed. He let out a sigh. "Let's take a chance on her, Meg. She's changed." I grew quiet, not wishing to shatter our peace, but anxiety gnawed. Moonlight illuminated the garden beyond, its serenity teasing my increasing fear. Friday night, I was preparing dinner, reliving my students' energetic Romeo and Juliet discussion, when Ashley's voice interrupted. "I'm home." Her face was ashen, her spark dampened. "Ashley, you all right?" I questioned, concerned. "Stomach aches, nauseated," she whispered, her face contorting. I didn't have time to react before she ran into the bathroom and vomited uncontrollably. I ran to her, patting her back, terror rising. "Rachel!" I yelled upstairs, but there was only silence. Ashley's suffering increased, her skin cold and clammy, her breath shallow and fast. My heart pounded, this wasn't right. I called Daniel. "Ashley's ill, come home immediately." With each increasing cry, I called 911, my voice shaking. "My daughter's in pain, stomach problems, vomiting, worsening." "Ambulance is on the way," said the operator, steady but authoritative, instructing me through motions my panicked brain hardly acknowledged. Sirens screamed nearer, and I pushed open the door for the paramedics. They examined Ashley, their expressions somber. "We're taking her to Massachusetts General." I held her hand. "Mom, I'm scared," she breathed. "I'm here, sweetheart," I replied, holding back tears. Rachel appeared as we walked toward the ambulance, shocked. "What happened?" "Ashley's ill." "We're on our way to the hospital," I snapped. "I'll come," she started. "No, stay. Tell Daniel when he returns." In the ambulance, I clutched Ashley's hand, sirens wailing as we careened through Boston streets. At the hospital, she was rushed into a treatment room, leaving me in the waiting room, suffocating in terror. Daniel burst in, out of breath. "How's she doing?" "Still being seen," I replied, voice trembling. We hugged each other, time crawling. The doctor appeared, his countenance serious. "Mr. and Mrs. Foster, Ashley's condition is critical, acute poisoning symptoms. We don't yet know the cause, but it's probably a toxin. The next 24 hours are critical." "Poison?" Daniel breathed softly, shocked. "How?" I was unable to speak, my thoughts racing. In Ashley's bedroom, surrounded by machines beeping, I clutched her hand, sobbing. How had this occurred? "Rachel hasn't arrived," I blurted out, a coldness creeping over me. Daniel, bewildered, phoned her. "She says she's busy, can't come," he said, scowling. "More important than Ashley?" I bit out, suspicion igniting. We hovered around her through the night, nurses providing empty reassurance. The Boston cityscape sparkled outside, its loveliness lost on me while I prayed for Ashley's recovery. Dawn arrived, her situation precarious, doctors unable to identify the toxin. Daniel and I alternated sleeping, never leaving her. In the afternoon, a knock at the door. 2 men came in, badges flashed. "Mr. and Mrs. Foster?" We nodded cautiously. "Hospital security. We must talk to you." Anxiety and curiosity fighting, we trailed behind them to a secluded hospital room, the weight of not knowing bearing down. The dim lighting of the hospital security room cast shadows as the guard indicated a monitor. "Footage from the parking lot last night, when your daughter was admitted," he said. The screen indicated the ambulance arriving. Ashley burst inside, and then, a familiar face standing over the car. "Rachel," Daniel breathed, his voice strained with shock. I gaped, my heart jumping. It was her, indubitably, standing with intent. "What is this?" I breathed, terror accumulating. The door opened, and 2 police detectives stepped in, Johnson and Parker, their badges flashing. "Mr. and Mrs. Foster," Detective Johnson spoke, his voice level, "we have to talk about your daughter's case." My head reeled. "The police?" "We had a tip," Detective Parker continued. "There's a clue regarding Ashley's poisoning in the other room. Mrs. Foster, would you please look surreptitiously?" Stunned, I nodded and headed towards the door. Glancing in, my heart stopped. A screen revealed Rachel standing by the ambulance, grasping something. Pinned to the board were images of vials of poisons taken from her car, along with Snapchat history between her and Ashley. Memory surged back, Rachel's rapid connection to Ashley, her questioning on Daniel's job. The pieces fit, dark and ominous. Mrs. Foster? Detective Johnson's voice jerked me back. I returned, shaking, unable to speak. Daniel's eyes roamed mine. Meg, what did you see? Rachel, I managed, my voice cracking. Toxins in her car, messages with Ashley. Daniel went pale, speechless. The detectives looked at each other. It's not hard to believe, Johnson said, but the evidence is clear. Why? I demanded, anger and fear mingling. Why Ashley? Parker spoke slowly. We think Rachel had ulterior motives. My phone rang, Rachel's name on the screen. The room stopped, all eyes on me. Johnson nodded slightly. I picked up, hand shaking. Rachel? I'm coming to the hospital, she stated, voice tight. We have to discuss Ashley. What did you do to her? My voice shook, fury seeping in. A gasp over the line. You know? Her voice grew thin. Why, Rachel? I demanded, resisting the urge to scream. It's a misunderstanding, she begged. I never wanted to hurt her. Sirens screamed in the distance, and she gasped for air. Where are you? I snapped. Hospital parking lot, she stuttered. Megan. The call disconnected. Silence filled the room. She's here, Johnson muttered. Our team's moving in. Daniel stood firm. We need to go see her. I stood, legs shaking. She's family, I growled. We have to confront her. Parker hesitated. It could be dangerous. We're going, Daniel insisted. The detectives acquiesced. Follow our instructions. Inside the elevator, I held Daniel's icy, shaking hand, our unspoken fear shared. The parking lot was abuzz with police vehicles, Rachel's sedan in the middle. Rachel! Daniel shouted. She slowly opened her car door and stepped out, white-faced, eyes filled with tears. Daniel, Megan, she whispered, voice cracking. Why? I insisted again, my voice a knife. I didn't mean to hurt Ashley, she stammered, taking a trembling breath. What I wanted. Her words faltered as she clutched her chest, eyes widening, and collapsed. Rachel. Daniel rushed forward, police and paramedics swarming. They loaded her onto a stretcher, rushing her into the hospital. We stood frozen, the scene surreal, like a nightmare unspooling. Detective Johnson approached. Mr. and Mrs. Foster, this will be a long night. Let's return to Ashley's room. We'll explain there. In Ashley's room again, her comatose body, lifeless amidst machines, ripped my heart apart. The detectives arrived, their countenances stern. Rachel confessed, Johnson started off. Daniel and I kept our breath. Parker went on, her motive was to steal confidential data from your company, Mr. Foster. Daniel's face contorted. Karcher? Why? She was jealous of your success, Johnson replied. She intended to sell secrets to a competing company. My head reeled, betrayal biting deep. But Ashley? I trembled to ask. Rachel poisoned her slowly, Parker said, to distract your family, with a ruckus to get into your work. The words cracked something within me. Daniel collapsed into a chair, shocked. Why go so far, he whispered. Jealousy, Johnson sighed. Your success gnawed at her. I stood beside Ashley's bed, rage and sorrow crushing me. Our daughter, for this? My voice cracked. Daniel's shaking hand touched my shoulder. The door opened, a doctor dashing inside. Rachel's condition has deteriorated, he said. She was poisoned with the same poison, most likely, by accident, from handling it when she was going after Ashley. Is she in danger? I asked, my composure surprising even me. He nodded again. She's in the ICU, stable at this point, but critical. There was silence, even the detectives shocked by the turn. What about Ashley? Daniel pleaded. With Rachel's admission, we can adjust her treatment, the doctor replied, a glimmer of hope creeping into his voice. I breathed out, holding on to that sliver of light. What now? I whispered. Johnson's tone was calm. We'll continue to investigate her connection to the competing company, all of it. Daniel stood up straight. I'll take care of the company aspect, but Ashley's recovery is the priority. I clutched his hand. Saving her is all we care about. Parker nodded. Things will be difficult for the next few days, but we'll be here for you. We thanked them, looking out the window as dawn broke over Boston's horizon. A new day, a new battle, but for Ashley, we'd fight anything. The hospital corridor buzzed with medical staff as Ashley's critical condition held Daniel and me in a vice of worry. We took turns by her bedside, praying for her recovery, our world narrowed to the beep of monitors. Meg, Daniel said, exhaustion etching his face. I called Karcher. I'm taking time off. I nodded, my voice gone. Ashley was our only focus now. Amid the fear, unexpected support poured in. My Quincy High colleagues came by, their smiles a lifeline. Sarah Johnson, head of the English department, held my hand. Megan, just tell us what you need. The kids are cheering Ashley on. I felt tears prick at my eyes. Thank you, Sarah. I will. My students had unexpectedly sent bright-colored message cards, now adorning Ashley's room, their words of encouragement supporting us. The attending physician came up with an offer one day. Mr. and Mrs. Foster, I'd like to speak with Dr. Emily Harris, a toxicologist from Boston Children's Hospital. May I? Absolutely, we replied, clinging to hope. The following day, Dr. Harris came, her smile steadying. We're experimenting with a new detoxification treatment, hopeful for cases such as Ashley's. Please, save her, I begged, voice raw. Treatment was initiated, and we watched, holding our breath. Ashley's pulse stabilized gradually. She's improving, one of the nurses reported, smiling like a beacon. Daniel and I embraced, relief shaking through us. We're not out of the woods, but it's progress, he whispered. Rachel's situation also stabilized meanwhile, though she was still unconscious, no longer in immediate danger of death. Meg, what do we do when Rachel comes around? Daniel asked softly one night. I exhaled, exhausted. I can't think about her now. Ashley's all that counts. He nodded, his own heart weighed down. Days alternated between hope and dread, the window of her hospital room mirroring our stress, murky one minute, sunny the next. Then a miracle, Ashley's fingers moved. Ashley! I exclaimed, squeezing her hand. Can you hear me? It's Mom. Her eyelids twitched, sparking hope. Weeks passed, and Ashley was able to speak, her progress making gains. Mom, she whispered, Aunt Rachel. Don't worry about her, I replied softly. Just concentrate on getting well. As Ashley recovered, Rachel's trial approached. Charged with industrial espionage and assault, she was brought into federal court. Rachel's attorney phoned, Daniel told me one day. She wants to speak with you. I'm not ready, I said, and he nodded, comprehending. Discharge day arrived for Ashley, a light after infinite darkness. In the lobby of the hospital, a group of us waited, Quincy High coworkers, students, neighbors, all smiling, a banner reading Welcome Home, Ashley. Applause as Ashley, modest but radiant, basked in it. Sarah hugged her. You did it, kid. We're so happy. Tears filled my eyes as I saw that this experience hadn't just made our family stronger but showed us the heart of our community. Daniel whispered in the car. Meg, this taught us so much, family, community, the fragility of trust. I nodded. But we're stronger now, with a new perspective. Ashley's voice from the back. Mom, Dad, thank you. I want to be stronger too. We smiled at each other, her strength our anchor. At home, welcome mats from neighbors graced the porch. Ashley collapsed onto the sofa, exhaling, "Home's the best." Late at night, after cleaning, the phone rang, an unknown number. My instinct knew. I picked it up, placed it on speaker. "Rachel?" "Megan," Daniel, her voice quivered, tearful. "I'm so sorry, for Ashley, for betraying you." Silence stretched. Daniel spoke, voice firm but heavy. "Your actions hurt us deeply. We can't forgive yet, but we hear your apology." I added, "It'll take time, Rachel. But if you're truly sorry, maybe one day we'll find reconciliation." After the call ended, we sat in silence, the phone call a tentative step toward healing. We huddled around Ashley, cherishing quiet family moments, the sun setting outside marking a new beginning. This experience taught us about the strength of family, the resilience of community, and the unpredictability of life, but also our strength. Days later, the prosecutor phoned. "Rachel's trial will be in a month's time," Daniel reported. "Charges are industrial espionage and assault." "How much time could she get?" I asked, steeling myself. "Espionage alone can be up to 15 years, he informed. Assault tacks on more, depending on her remorse and the trial." Ashley, hearing, asked softly, "Did Aunt Rachel do something wrong?" "Yes," I said quietly, "but she'll get her due. Perhaps one day she can reform." Daniel agreed. "Justice is important, but so is redemption. Her sin was inexcusable, but human. Once her punishment, her journey to redemption would be hers alone, and ours to see, from afar." "Tomorrow's a new day," I told Daniel and Ashley. They nodded, the tie between us strengthened anew, prepared for whatever came next. The stars beyond the window shone, as if celebrating our new beginning. Betrayal proves the strength of family ties, but community, love, and perseverance can illuminate the road to healing. Hooked by this story of trust and victory? Hit that like button, share with your group, and subscribe to Revenza Tales for more tear-jerking stories. Leave a comment below. Could you forgive a family member's betrayal, or keep them at arm's length for the rest of their lives?